It may be 30 with each leg, all right? Whatever it takes to really maximize the time under tension. Hey, what's up guys? Gary Walker here with LiveAnabolic.com and welcome back for another video. All right, this video, it's all about legs, man. I'm gonna show you how to build big legs with only light weights. Here's the thing when it comes to building muscle and legs specifically. People assume in order to build more muscle on your legs, you gotta lift extremely heavy weight. That's one of the first misconceptions. The second is a lot of men tend to think you have to just go straight into doing really heavy back squats. All right, and that's not the case. If you watched any of my other videos, then you'll know I always recommend squats. However, not necessarily back squats. All right, as you've gotten older, a lot of men tend to be a lot more sedentary, sit around a lot more, and what tends to happen when you do that is you start getting really tight hip flexors, you get a weaker core, which leads to lower back issues, all right? So if that's you, I don't usually recommend you starting with back squats. So what I like to do is instead do a goblet squat, a front squat. There's several different types of squats you can do, even a heels elevated dumbbell squat. All right, so I do recommend squatting, but not necessarily back squats. And also, here's the other thing. I'm gonna show you 3 different techniques you can utilize that will allow you to build really big legs without having to use heavy weight at all. And that's typically my recommendation for older men, all right? So what are the 3 techniques? I'm gonna show you how to do these, but first let's briefly go over those. The first one I like to do is a pre-exhaust technique. Basically, all that is you're using an isolation movement, all right? And if we're talking about legs, that's usually like a leg extension or a leg curl, all right? I like to have you do that with really high reps to burn out and pre-exhaust either the quads if you're doing the leg extensions or the hamstrings if you're doing the leg curls. By doing that, then you're already activating all the muscles. You're starting to get a lot of blood flow. You're also getting synovial fluid in your knees and your hips, which is gonna allow you to work more comfortably. All right, so once you've done the pre-exhaust exercise, then you will go into a compound movement. I'm gonna show you the 2 I recommend here in a minute, but that is the pre-exhaust technique. Second technique is a compound movement. Compound movement is doing 2 exercises back to back for the same muscle group. All right, and then not only that technique, but then we're gonna do one that's a little bit more intense, and I'm gonna show you how to do a tricep. So the main difference with the tricep is you're doing 3 exercises back to back to back. No rest in between the exercises though. That's where the intensity really kicks in. And you're gonna get a ton of blood flow and also lactic acid. So man, these techniques are going to burn your muscles. They're gonna burn your quads, burn your hamstrings, but that's what we want, all right? I don't want you to overtax your joints. I would rather you put all the emphasis and all that intensity into working the muscle without overloading the joints. So that's why we're gonna utilize these techniques. All right, so with that said, before I get into the actual exercises, man, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and then make sure you click on that bell icon. That way you get notified every time we upload a new video. Let's get into the first technique. The first technique is the pre-exhaust technique. So like I mentioned, we're gonna start with an isolation movement for the quadriceps. So for this, we're gonna go into a leg extension movement. So the difference between an isolation exercise and a compound exercise. Isolation just means you're working the quads, but we're only utilizing one joint. Here it's our knee joint. We're gonna be bending at the knee. That's an isolation. Now the next one is a compound movement. Compound movement is gonna be like a squat or a lunge, goblet squat, something like that. The main difference is we're working with more than one joint. So when you're doing a squat, you're bending at the knee and the hip. All right, so I typically recommend doing compound movements. There's a lot of benefits to doing that. However, when you utilize the pre-exhaust technique first, you're gonna still get those same compound movement benefits, but you're not gonna have to use as much weight. So for these 2 exercises, you're gonna see me doing a leg extension. And in order to really get the most out of this isolation movement, I want you to shoot for really high reps. So we're gonna be shooting for 20 to 25. I'll show you how to set this up, but 20 to 25 reps, really high rep range, is gonna allow your quads to be consumed, really get full of blood, all right? Again, like I mentioned earlier, also lactic acid. So you're gonna be feeling some burning, man, in your quads, even up in those hip flexors. But basically, nice, slow, and under control with each of these. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're really keeping your hips down, your lower back against the pad. Another thing I want you to focus on when you're doing leg extensions, it's easy to just get caught up in the movement and just start going through the motions, all right? I want you to focus on contracting the quads up here. Tighten the quads, bring it down under control, nice and slow. Another contraction up here, nice and slow. So really take your time when you're doing each of these reps. At the top of every single movement, I want you to really focus on flexing these quads, all right? As hard as you can. Again, 20 to 25 reps, get that blood flow going. The other key benefit, which I mentioned earlier, is synovial fluid in your knees. So if you have really dry knees or you have arthritic knees, anything like that, this is gonna help lubricate your knees prior to doing the compound movement, all right? Have no idea how many I've done. Let's say that's 18, 19, we'll stop at 20. Here's the second part of the compound movement. You're going to immediately go from here into a lunge. So I'm gonna recommend the lunge here. I like doing reverse lunges. So basically no rest in between. One. If body weight lunges are way too easy for you, then go ahead and have your weights ready, all right? That's the key to doing a compound movement or even a tricep, which I'm gonna show you in a minute, is being set up already. You don't wanna take time having to get weights. You wanna be able to go straight from the isolation movement straight into this compound movement. So again, 20 pound, 30 pound, 40 pound dumbbells, whatever you need to make this more intense. We're gonna be shooting for 12 to 15 reps here, and then you want 12 to 15 of each leg. The way I count is 1, 2, 2. So I'll count that way. If you see 12 to 15 and you don't want to count the way I do, then just double up the reps. It can be 24 to 30. Basically just focusing on making sure you're doing higher reps with each leg. All right, so again, this is a compound movement, meaning I did not rest in between. We just combined two different types of techniques. We did the pre-exhaust and the compound movement. Once you've done your second exercise here, get a good breath, rest about 60 to 90 seconds. If you're new and just getting started to working out and this intensity is too much for you, then go ahead and make sure that you take 2 minutes rest if you need to. We're all at a different conditioning level starting out, but the goal being get the rest periods down towards 60 seconds if you can. That's just gonna increase that intensity, give you great quadricep pump, which is really gonna help you grow those quads without having to go really heavy, all right? So that's the first. Here's the thing when you're doing these. Basically you wanna do, this is the pre-exhaust and the compound movement combined, two techniques combined. I want you to shoot for about 4 sets of these. That's 8 total sets. You've done 4 sets of the leg extensions, 4 sets of the reverse lunges. If you do that, you're gonna notice your quads are gonna be full of blood, really pumped up. They're gonna feel amazing, all right? But here's the next thing, all right? Here's the next thing we're gonna move on to. We went over 2 techniques. Now I wanna show you a tricep. We'll do a tricep with hamstrings. So let me show you, let me get some weight for this. I wanna show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 3 different exercises. That's what the tricep is, 3 different exercises with no rest in between, all right? So let's get back over here. We're gonna use the same machine, but let's get this stuff ready. We're gonna do a lying leg curl. All right, lying leg curl is gonna be our isolation movement. Again, we're only bending at the knee. We're gonna be doing one movement here. So that's how this is going to work. Tricep again, meaning 3 different exercises. So what we're gonna do here, we're really gonna focus on isolating the hamstrings with the leg curl. We're also going to add the pre-exhaust technique in here, which means the first isolation exercise, 20 to 25 reps, man, all right? We really wanna get the blood flow. By doing that, you're gonna have enough blood. You're gonna have your hamstrings completely activated, so you don't have to go near as heavy with these next 2 exercises, all right? So we're gonna go from the lying leg curl. We're gonna go from there into a dumbbell Romanian deadlift, dumbbell RDL. Then we're gonna do a goblet squat after that, all right? So let me show you how this looks in actuality, all right? So you don't have to do the lying. You can do a seated leg curl if that's all you have access to. So let's go higher reps here. 2, I'll show you 20. I really want you to really maximize these the best you can. Again, though, for the sake of the video, I don't want to just take too much of your time. You'll understand how to do these by watching me execute these the way that I am. So we'll go for 20 here, and then we're going to go straight from here into a dumbbell RDL. With that, we're going to be shooting for 12 to 15 reps. All right, I'm going a little fast here. I want you to really focus on squeezing at the top. If this was an actual rep, all right, if I'm doing my actual workout, basically nice and slow on the way down, hold that, 1001, 1002 contraction, nice, slow. It's okay to explode, but hold it, 1001, 1002. Nice and slow on the way down, explode it up. That's how I like to work each rep in these exercises. All right, again, I tend to go a little faster in the video, just trying to show you what the movement should look like. Let's do a couple more here. One more, there we go, all right. So no rest in between these. This is the tricep. So for these, we would go straight into the dumbbell RDLs. Glutes back, take these, nice good stretch, straight back to the top. And again, you should already have your hamstrings warmed up from the first exercise, have good blood flow there. Really focus on a nice, good hamstring stretch. Make sure your chest is out, shoulders are back, and you don't want to round your back. You don't want to round this way. Keep your chest out, shoulders back. If you do that, that's going to take the stress off your lower back. I'm coming down, but my glutes going back, 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 back as I lower these. Also keep the dumbbells as close to your body as you can. Do a couple more here. One more. This is the second. Now we're going into the third. We'll use these for a goblet squat. With the goblet, I like to take them pretty wide, especially when you're including these in your hamstring work, to really work the glutes and hams, all right? Drive them up. At the top, squeeze those glutes together at the top. Again, tricep. Try for 3. 3 exercises, all of these. If you notice, no rest in between these exercises. I'm only using the weights that I brought over, but for you, really maximize the intensity. Go as heavy as you need to. If you got a 50-pound dumbbell, 40-pound, whatever you need, for 8 to 10 reps on the goblet squat. Show you another one here. All right, that's what a tricep looks like. Then, nice big breath. Really get your breathing under control. If you're doing a tricep, usually you want 90 seconds to 2 minutes rest, all right? Because I want you to recover enough from set to set to really make these next sets efficient. Work hard. If you're too fatigued, too exhausted after doing this, and you're starting back with your second set of your tricep, it's hard to get a really effective set if you're out of breath and can barely breathe. As you can tell, I'm that way now trying to talk to you guys. All right, but these are the techniques I want you to really utilize. I am gonna show you one more. It's something that I do to increase time under tension. So for instance, if this was my full workout, we did a pre-exhaust and a compound set for the quads, 4 sets. Then we're gonna do the tricep for the hamstrings and glutes, all right? 3 sets of those, that's sufficient because we did 3 exercises. 3 exercises, 3 sets each, that's 9 total sets. You'll notice it doesn't take very long. This whole workout's probably 30 to 35 minutes, depending on your rest periods, all right? So what I like to do is finish off with increasing the time under tension with the body weight movement. So for that, one of 2 things you can do. Body weight squats or an air squat. All right, so let's say you've already done 4 sets of each of the quad exercises, 3 sets each of the hamstring and glute exercises. This is the last thing. Your legs should be fatigued. They should be completely exhausted. Now you want to do as many reps as possible on body weight squats. Nice, full. Make them slow, all right? Really slow these down and focus on getting that burn. By doing as many as you can, I mean, that may be 30, it may be 40 reps, which is perfect. And you only want to do 2 sets of these for a finisher, all right? This is going to increase the overall time under tension. Here's the thing. I said 1 or 2. You can do the body weight squats or you can do body weight reverse lunges, just alternating sides. Again, 1, 1. And it may be the same. I mean, if you've got really conditioned legs, your legs can handle a lot of work. Then after you've done the pre-exhaust compound and the pre-exhaust tricep, do this time under tension finisher. It may be 30 with each leg, all right? Whatever it takes to really maximize the time under tension. And again, you notice I called this a finisher. This is a finisher movement. So finish off your legs. Finish off those quads, hams. Gonna feel great. This may add another 5 minutes to your workout, but overall, 35, maybe 40 minutes, nothing to it, man. You notice I didn't use really heavy weight. You do want to go as heavy as you need to, but we're not overloading our spine by doing heavy back squats. You're not doing a lot of overloading on the knees, the hips, anything when you're using these intensity techniques. But man, if you have any questions about any of these exercises, if you had difficulty understanding me because I am out of breath, all right, then comment below, ask a question, let me know. Other than that, have a great workout, put this to the test, do it yourself, come back, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think about the workout. With that being said, that's all that I got. Get busy, get after it, and God bless.